Welcome on in, builders. We're going to check out a gameplay preview for Corsair Cove. This is being published by Hooded Horse, and thank you to Hooded Horse for the preview code. Hopefully we can talk over this beautiful song that's playing on the main menu here. This is a pirate base building game that involves like some adventure where you go out on your ship and go through various different encounters. I played just a little bit to make sure everything was going to be running okay, and it's ran absolutely smooth. I'll just flash up settings here. Nothing too crazy. I let it pretty much just auto grab whatever settings it thought I could handle. I did go ahead and turn it on to NVIDIA DLAA. That is my preferred AA these days, and since I can run it, I did. I did go ahead and limit the FPS to 60 since that's what I record at. It did automatically set itself to 240, so plenty up there. I'm gonna come in here and we're gonna knock down this volume just a smidgen. I'm sure it won't be quite so bad once we're in game here. New game in the background, new, thank you. Okay, let's find out what it's about. I believe we're gonna have a little bit of an intro video here, so assuming that's the case, I'll be quiet and we'll watch the intro.
The tides have changed. The Age of Piracy is nearing its grisly end. Crown rules supreme. Pirate hunters roam the seven seas. Hunters like Amara, that Spanish hound. Never thought I'd end up in her brig. She's a clever wench. I'll hand it to her. She made only one mistake. She threw me in with a solid crew of pirates. This might be worth a shot. Good thing I was able to hide this little beauty.
Alarm! The prisoners are free! Stop them! No pirate leaves this ship alive!
Swim for your lives, you sodden wretches! Look at us. Once mighty pirates all. Lost, half drowned, and nothing but the skin on our backs. But we're still breathing. And that, my friends, is more than enough. Because all it takes is the right crew in the right place to turn the tides of fate back in our favor.
All right, nice little intro there. I do find it a little funny that they didn't disarm the pirates in the hold. I noticed a sword and a knife still on us, so maybe next time give us a little bit of a pat down there, eh? All right.
Feast your eyes on this blighted rock, me mateys. It may be our home for the foreseeable future. Well then, let's start with the basics. We'll need shelter first of all. A camp and a few tents should do for now. And if there's not enough room on the ground, well, why not build on the walls as well?
Okay, I'm gonna really struggle with the voice acting helpfully coming in quite often here, at least at the beginning. So let's go ahead and pause. First off, I have to say, I really like the interface and whatnot is pretty slick, and everything has been really smooth. I really like the building here. We'll see it here in a second, and definitely has some almost like Anno vibes, I would say, with the way that like you're kind of doing like a city building, but then we also have kind of like an adventure thing going on with the ship. I quite enjoyed the little bit I played so far. We'll see. Apparently in the preview build we have, they didn't say first chapter, but I think dealing with this, what's her name, Amanda, that pirate lady, I think we get to do kind of that part of the game within this preview build. So we'll see how long this takes. I'm hoping maybe one recording, but if we have a decent chunk, then maybe we'll make it a little longer here. So we found a shipwreck full of construction resources and an abandoned construction site. Fitting place to build a pirate camp. So pirate camps here, the way these are going to work is, this is kind of like your central hub. Once this is constructed, we'll see it, but there's going to be like a circle around that. And that's the area that we can actually build in and do things in. And as the game would go on, you're obviously going to build multiple camps across your island to expand to other areas. And one of the main reasons you're going to need to do that is A, just building space, and B, there's only certain areas that we can build docks on, and we're going to want to have more and more docks. Let this play. So what I did there was I just made a connection. All of our buildings need to be connected back to this central
It appears
pillar.
we're not the first to be stranded here. Perhaps we'll find gold in these scattered wrecks.
I combed through them with the crew already. Anything we could find, we've gathered at our beach.
Okay, so we have a shipwreck here that has some lumber in it, and we made that connection, so now they can haul the lumber over there and get building on this. One of the main things that we're going to be doing is there's going to be various connection points, and we can have all kinds of scaffolding and zip lines and other connectors to connect various buildings. The logistics flow in this seems relatively important because you actually have to haul things around. And it's a lot easier to haul things, let's say, like across just a gantry here than up and down ladders, for example. So we're definitely going to put some thought into how we're going to organize this base. Nice skull rock, very classic.
That rotten wench,
Amara.
At least we sent her to the depths for good.
It takes more than that to kill a captain. We haven't seen the last of her. Mark my words.
All right, well, too bad that it isn't the last of her. Let me just double check those sound settings. I want to make sure I didn't accidentally turn down the voices there. No, we're all right. No. Okay. So now we built our level 1 pirate camp. We have access to the pirate camp, and now they want us to build 3 tents. So now for the tents, just knowing what I did last time, I think I'm actually going to drop these at ground level. Ground level is kind of like premier building area, but I think we're going to replace these at some point with better housing. So I'm just going to plunk these down here for now. We'll just do those 3. And they're going to... One of the things I love is... So he's using this path to get up here, and then like they're going to bring the supplies down through it. So there's not a lot of like just ground level footpathing, at least not that I've seen under my connections. We have both those, and then I also could do like walkways on the cliff. I'm not going to put any in yet because we have no need for it, but that is something we could do. All right, building our 3 tents that they're asking for. It's in one thing I did struggle with a little bit. In here, actually, is where you'll come in and you'll be able to see the amount of housing. So you can see here, we are at +1 house at the moment. That was just a spot. I kept looking for it in the UI up top.
Our meager salvage won't last forever. We need to make more planks.
We have enough to build a ship. I say we leave as soon as that is done.
We'd be fools to let this chance slip us by. You'll see, Honorata. This is just the start.
Okay, so we need to build a woodcutter. Woodcutter can only be built in fertile areas, so these spots that are highlighted. And I assume we're going to get like food production or something at some point. So I assume that this is pretty primo territory. So I want to make sure we're using this as smartly as we can. And to that end, I think I'm going to plunk you down over in this corner, wherever you will fit. Okay, that would work. It doesn't love that area. Okay, now, in order to make that work, we do need to have a connection to it. So we'll come in here. Let's find... You know, let me do it? You sure will. Sure. And then we will make a connection between there and... Oh, it doesn't love that. Is that the one I want to use, though? Hang on. There and... There. This is going to be kind of sort of temporary for me. I'm going to build other things, but I just need to have it connected so that we can actually work on it. And for this one, I don't think it actually needs resources. It's kind of the base thing we're doing. All right, it's telling us about all hands on deck. This is essentially like an overdrive mode for your buildings. For now, I will go ahead and turn that on. And we're going to come in here. We want to build a sawmill. Now, one of the things I really like, see that dotted line? That's showing us the logistical path that this thing is going to want to use. So to that end, I'm going to have you go... I guess it's fine if we have a second ladder there. Now, I could find a place up here, but again, I feel like this is like primo territory where if we have other things to grow, I wouldn't want to use that up. So I'm actually going to build this on the cliff face here. And I'm just debating where I want to actually have. I know because I played a little bit that we're going to have a dock over here. So I kind of want to put this in a place where my lumber is relatively available to that. Okay, I think I'm going to go around this corner. I think I do want to go around this corner. That looks interesting if nothing else. Okay, we'll do that there. And that had a connection, so we're good. And they're going to bring the lumber that we have harvested over to that spot. And then they'll use the lumber to build the lumber mill. So here they come. Yeah, and you can see that people are actually physically transporting that. They're having to climb that ladder, which isn't, like I said, ideal, but I mean, we're going to have to transport things here or elsewhere, one way or the other. All right, and we'll go ahead and we'll speed this up. I don't like doing the fast forward, but while we're just waiting on just a building, we'll let it do that. And there's the 10 that were required. Yeah, take that, OSHA. Open the construction menu. They want us to build a warehouse. Okay, now this was partly why I wanted to build that where I built that. So I kind of want my warehouse somewhere over here. That little stone thing's kind of in my way. Let me check. Where are your connectors? Okay, so we can put one off of this side. Or I could go a little lower. Where would you need to be if I wanted to go lower? So we could put it directly below that. I also don't hate that. I wish this little thing right here wasn't in my way, where I kind of want it. All right, well, I'm just going to pretend that this is future-proofing for something, and we're going to put it right there. I'm going to need a connection to make that work. And I want to put it directly off of the mill here. Oh, that's kind of funny. Do I want to do it on that? I think I want to put it on this side. There we go. All right, no ladders involved that way at least. Now, you stop overdriving. You start overdriving. You don't really want to leave that on. You're doubling the upkeep for only a 50% increase, but in instances where I'm just waiting for one thing, especially this opening spot. We also have planks down here that we're having to bring over while we're waiting for other things. Yeah, here they come. Another thing we could do is we could make some walkways off the left side of this, and they can kind of cut through the building, so they won't have to use this ladder forever. Again, I'm just kind of like ahead of the game a little bit here on where I'm building things. All right, 10 out of 10. Excellent. 6 logs. I guess we'll let this go in overdrive mode a little bit. I just want to see if we can run out of logs. Not really. Okay, you're doing just fine. All right, and she's completing up our warehouse spot.
Good. Now let's empty our shipwreck and demolish it for more space.
Okay, so we're going to click on here to make a connection. We're going to connect to that so they go get it. And then I'm also going to connect to that so that they'll haul it in here. This will be kind of a temporary connection because once it's out of lumber, then it will break. It'll take us a hot minute because they're going to have to run kind of across the whole place to do that, but that's okay. We'll let that happen while we're doing that, I suppose. I do like, this is one of those games that has just really nice little like idle animation. So you'll see people walking around or having fist fights. It has kind of a pig theme going on here. We'll get more and more traffic moving around as we have more and more things being hauled. Saw that guy carrying some of the lumber over to that. How are we doing? 0 in it. Okay, so next thing we're supposed to do is demolish this. Quest complete.
Crew's uneasy. Something requires our attention.
All right, here you can check your cohesion. New quest is Trouble Brewing. Cohesion shows how well your pirate community sticks together. You can gain or lose cohesion in events, and when you have to defend your island. If it drops to 0, we fail and we lose the game. Drifters and fetchers require housing. Hands also require additional upkeep, such as stew to stay satisfied. Campfires can produce stew at no cost. Their production is slow, but it'll do for now. A galley can distribute food to all the pirates within the area of the pirate camp. Make sure to have enough stew delivered to the gallery that your hands will stay satisfied. If upkeep isn't met, satisfaction will drop until it reaches 0. This will trigger an outrage, like right here. You'll have to choose how to resolve the situation. Success and will restore order, but failure will reduce cohesion and make outrage worse. We click here, we can see satisfaction super duper low. We discover 2 of Amara's soldiers hiding amongst our crew. They claim they were stranded like us. We're about to slice their bellies open when they loudly renounce the crown and ask to accept them as pirates. What should we do? We could let them live for -30, or we could slice their guts for -20, and we would have 2 less people. We'll go ahead and keep them. So we lost some cohesion there. We take the hapless fools at their word and welcome to the crew. Many grumble and protest. They see only traitors in the making.
It's called for hard choices. A good crew sticks together through thick and thin. Lose that cohesion, and everything will fall apart.
All right, new building. We got our campfire. Okay, so I find this kind of interesting. So somehow this campfire is able to produce base food without any other inputs, which I just find funny. All right, where do I want to put you? I am gonna kind of cramp things in here just because I realized when I was doing my test game how bad it really gets on space after a little while. That would allow us to have a direct path through here. This is saving a little bit of headroom for something below it. I think I like the walkway just directly connected there. So we'll try to get in as close as we can. Go ahead and build that.
Well, I, for one, am starving. Is there nothing to eat on this uncivilized world?
Where's that bloody pig? I'm in the mood for stew.
Yeah, stew. All right, so we are building that. We need to make sure we have housing for everybody. Galley is going to be what distributes our stew. And then if we don't do it, people will be really mad. All right, so we are building it up. Again, I'm going to break my norm and we're going to go in a little bit of fast mode just to keep moving pace here. Okay, there we go. And that unlocked our galley. So the galley is going to distribute that food. And again, I think I'm just going to continue trying to build at the same level and keep that little pathway going. And as you can see here, it's automatically making various little connections. So I guess if you really wanted to, you could climb 100-foot rickety like ladder. No, thank you. To get up there. Or you could, once you're at the level, you could just use my little walkway here. People using all kinds of little different connections. Guy with a pitchfork just randomly running around. Perfect. All right, there's our 20 planks have arrived in our galley. Go ahead and get that built on in there. That's incredibly... How the heck did you manage to get a piece like that? Pirates can take a lot, but lack of food or proper shelter will push even the toughest of sailors to the brink of outrage. How will we address this? Tend to it at once. Yeah, we're working on it. All right, so activate all hands on deck at least one campfire. Have rising satisfaction in all pirates for 120 seconds. So now that we're distributing food, that will become not a problem. And that already auto-grabbed that, so I don't need to do anything about it. So we're gonna zoom out so their shouting won't be quite so bad. We're basically just letting the food work its way through the system. We can see that we're getting food in here. Yeah, so we have a upkeep of 8 and an input of 13. So we're making enough that this isn't going to be a problem. Okay, quest complete again. Our swift action satisfies everyone. Well done. We'll go grab ourselves a few drinks. And then we'll turn this off.
Start. But for a pirate nest, we're still missing a vital establishment, don't you think?
Ah, yes. A treasury. Or perhaps a high-class brothel.
This guy's got his head screwed on straight.
The tavern, posh idiot.
I do like that they're relatively rough with each other. Remember, we're a motley crew. These aren't people who normally like each other. We're just escapees, essentially. All right, so we need to do a tavern. So this is going to be a still, and then the tavern's going to distribute the drink. So very similar to this. Now, just because I have pre-knowledge, I'm going to go ahead and I just want to make sure I space this correctly. I know I'm going to need a second stew thing, so I'm going to plop that in there. Can I pause construction? I can. Nice. Just to get that so we don't have to have any storage or anything wonky for that. And then I will now make our drink. Now, I also just know we're going to need a similar situation where we're going to need 2 inputs for an output here. I think we're just going to cram these on the next level down, wherever those fit. All right, so that would be 1 still. Okay, we'll let them go ahead and get building on that. How are we doing on planks? 131, plenty. Now, we are having to drag those really far, but I only have to do that once while building, whereas I'm going to need kind of some constant lumber at my shipyard, hence why I kind of wanted this closer. The first time I played, I had built that like way over here, thinking I was going to build a dock right here, and that was not what I was allowed to do. So I'm just using some foreknowledge here to make things a little smoother. Go ahead and knock that into the high speed here for a second. All right, there we go. New building tavern. All right, and just like above it, I would prefer either at the same level, which kind of works, but takes up a humongous amount of space. I think we're going to put the tavern at ground level. Now, it doesn't connect to that main pillar. All right, so similar to what I did before, I want a second one of these. And then I want to pause it. I just am spacing myself, essentially. All right, then you. Where are you going? Really close to the water. I don't know what else goes at ground level. But like you can see, I don't have a lot of room. All right, we'll plunk him over here. Which means I think I'm going to actually have to build this. So we'll go ahead and let that go too. I'm not sure we could use that connection otherwise. Like, can we make any other connections? We sure could. Okay, can I do... want to connect up the top here. Doesn't like that. It does like that. Sure. Let's do it the other direction, though. Alright, so we connect there. What I really want is just connect right to that. You can make some pretty, let's just say we're getting revenge on OSHA from what we're going to be building. And we'll do that. Alright, that's going to be quite wonky, but I think that works. You have to jump over the safety rail to get to the other one. I love it. We'll see if that helps them be able to get there. Okay, double stills. I guess we can go ahead and probably let this go. Well, maybe not. We let it be. All right, select the tavern. Click the booze fetcher. We're going to get it from here. We're also going to get it from there. All right, got our 2 sources.
A place to wet me gills. Things are coming together. All that's left is a pier, so we can build a ship.
Cambolia, we need a tavern keep in here.
Coming.
Okay, build one shallow pier. And like I said, this is one of the things that tripped me up a little bit. We have to specifically build this here, like a specific node. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a whole bunch of them, but these are not within our build range. So we have to build that essentially. And then we need to connect it so we actually can get there with resources. So again, this is just my pre-knowledge. Now I can't do this. There's a maximum range, and as you see, we're ever so slightly out of range. I'm out of range for that too. So I think we're going to have these two connect. Whatever makes the most sense. Maybe from there and then to there. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that we have this gap right in the middle so that if you're going home late at night, there's a nice little trap for them. Take that, OSHA. All right, and as you see, we're bringing that lumber from the warehouse. That was about as close as I was willing to get it. I kind of wish we could put it here. Maybe in another life, I'll build the warehouse here and we'll connect that way. All right, but there we go. There's our
This is starting
port.
to look like a little haven.
An enemy ship is en route to attack our island.
Miss me, pirate scum?
Amara! How the hell did she make it here?
Her ship is barely holding together.
But she still has her cannons.
Oh, we'll speed that up. Yeah, here she comes. How did she even find us? Comes on into the bay. You and your cannons.
Our haven is taking fire. If we don't have a gun tower or better ship ready in time, well, we better duck for cover.
Lily pulling donuts out in the parking lot, firing her cannons at us.
Everyone, to the tavern!
You think you can build your nest on this rock? Think again.
That blasted wench. Kill her, now!
We have him! Back to the ship!
She's just jealous that we had such a good tavern keep. The attacking ship has bombarded our island. We lost many pirates and buildings. So we lost 2 people and we lost some more cohesion. Click on the house marker to start repairing. We'll repair all buildings. I'm not going to forget that. All right, then we're heading over to various places. And actually, now I think about you. Let's pause you. I don't actually need the second one running at the moment. I think I'll go ahead and also tell them they can go ahead and build that.
That rotten wench took our tavern keep. After her!
How? We still don't have a ship.
Then let's build one. It's about bloody time.
Okay, build a ship. So we're gonna come over here, start ship construction. The landlubber is not a good ship. She's slow, underpowered, and doesn't have much space for crew, but she's more than enough to learn the rudiments of sailing, fighting, and plundering. So we see here different ships have different stats. They have different crew requirements. Here's a couple unlocks of different ship types. Look how many unlocks there are too. Nice amount. Right now though, all we can do is the landlubber. We'll go ahead and build that. It needs 15 lumber. They're bringing it on over. Have at least one ship.
Beauty.
Beauty. It's a floating turd.
And who shall be the proud captain of this turd?
One of us has to, I'm afraid.
All right, so we have to click to assign a captain. So these are the 4 captains that we have right now, and it already can see that there's other people to unlock. decent number. So each one of these has different abilities. They give you a little bit of a splash about who they are. They have some sort of captain card, and then they have a perk. So this is Teach is the last of the old guard. While those around him have fallen victim to the crown or the pirate hunters or even their own crews, Teach has survived through brutality, vigilance, and sheer force of will. His name is already a legend. He has Captain's Card, easy as murder. Gain +1 die. We'll see the combat here in a minute. If you deal damage to an opponent, the effect continues. So as long as we do damage, we get to keep easy as murder rolling. And his perk is Hatred is Power. Increases health by 20% and gun damage by 20%. Kanja often roamed the docks in his hometown as a child to catch the lovely scent of various spices in the air. The fact that certain of these were more valuable than gold fascinated him. He eventually became a wealthy spice trader, but was branded a pirate due to his ruthless tactics. He has all or nothing. Gain 3 dice pool next turn. If your dice pool result is less than 5, it becomes 1. Perk Spice Thief, increase supplies by 20% and speed by 20%. Scarlet. There's a fine line between bravery and foolishness. This is where Scarlet thrives. She earned her reputation by doing the deeds that others fear the most. She will not be outdone, and she will never back down. And by her own admission, she should probably already be dead. Rise up, mateys. +1 die pool for the rest of the objective. Increases health by 20% and boarding damage by 20%. And Honorita von Horn knows firsthand how subtle the difference between privateer and a pirate can be. Depending on who you ask, her father William was both. Following in his footsteps, Honorita has always refused to let others dictate who or what she should be. No risk, no fun. Gain supplies based on the die outcome. Take double damage to crew. Perks, Brave Explorer. Increase speed by 20% and maneuverability by 20%. For this first one, I'm going to go ahead and assign Teach as our captain.
No quarter for the crown.
Assign a captain. Pause the sawmill. So this is just showing us that we don't actually have enough people in our settlement to actually work this. So I'm going to pause that. And then if I'm pausing that, there's really no reason to run the woodcutter. So I'm going to go ahead and pause that. And that's going to give me enough free people to fully crew it. Our objective just wanted at least, I think, 10. We'll hire crew. Enter the discovery point near your island. So we need to zoom out. And you can see, here's the larger world around us. We're going to go to discovery point and embark.
The world is ours.
All right, so we are heading out.
And ready to go.
Amara can't have gone far. Let's get our bearings.
All right, so while we're out doing our adventuring stuff, our city continues to work. So I have a lot of things paused right now, so not a lot that really matters, if I'm being honest, but just in theory it is. All right, go ahead and go to fast speed here just to get out there.
Let them know we're here. Ready.
All right, so we came out and immediately just ran into somebody. You can see that it's getting closer, and we have an encounter here. Crown Battle. An event has started. Finish the objective to win. Our objective is reduce the health to 0 on the enemy. We have a dice pool right here. This is the player dice pool. It shows the player's available dice rolls. Most actions use a dice to modify their outcome, as indicated by the number range written in the action. We have health and crew. If either of these drop to 0, we lose. We have supplies. Many choices cost supplies. If you run out, your options are limited. And then we have our combat stats. So down here we have gun damage, boarding damage, speed, maneuverability, and armor. The enemy has the same. This is the opponent's choice for the current turn. It will be executed simultaneously with your own. These are your available choices for the objective. Each choice has a die cost on your supplies, or I guess it's just a cost on your supplies. So each one of these would cost 1 supply to use. We can see that he is completely destroying our supplies. Some of your choices gain treasure. If you win the event, all the treasure will be rewarded as bonus plunder. The combat log tracks all objectives, choices, and resulting effects. Now, unfortunately, we're in tutorial zone, so they're gonna make us do this. We ought to just do this. A, it would kill him, and he's gonna make us lose our supplies anyways, but we'll follow the tutorial. We roll a 3, so we do the damage of our ship guns plus 3. Your choice will reduce your opponent's health, while theirs has destroyed your supplies. Now a new turn begins. Without supplies, you can no longer make battle choices. Switch to support choices to make a choice to resupply. So we click over here to support. We could strip for parts and various other things. I'm not going to fight the tutorial, so I'm just going to do what it's telling me to do. We take 6 damage and we gain some supplies. All right, he's going to do a defensive blast and deals 2 to 7 damage. We're going to do a wasteful barrage because that's going to do 7 damage and finish him off. Did 11 damage. Beautiful.
Good job. To hell with their crown and their...
We got some black powder. This is, I think, part of just our mission objectives. We got some coin, we got some cohesion, some supplies. All right, quest complete. We already have to go back to our pier to repair. We'll just go in fast mode to let that happen.
Backwater, this. I wondered if there's gold to be found here.
Who cares? We need to find that Spanish wench.
Our ship is in bad shape. Barbers Bay Port is close by. I bet she's there.
The debris of a recent fight reaches our island, carrying a handful of exhausted pirates with it. Their ship was attacked by pirate hunters under the Spanish flag. Amara, no doubt. So we can take them in. That'll give us 15 drifters.
We need shelter too. Let's make sure we're providing.
Okay, so we can see here, we are at -11 housing. We most definitely need to take care of that. All we have right now is tents, and a tent is 2 housing. So I'm gonna need 6 of these bad boys. Have any spots in here? I'm not gonna do this because we might be able to fit bigger buildings. My idea is that we have a better house upgrade at some point. So I'm gonna probably get rid of these at that point. So for now, we're just gonna continue making them down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we'll let those build up. This is also why we built these extra buildings, because we need those to make sure we have enough food and booze. Upkeep is 15, input is 24. One provider has not enough. Upkeep is 23, input is 16. All right, as these get going, we should be fine. All right, they want me to access the pier. Teach has returned. We got loot and we need to do a repair. Repair our ship. And again, they're gonna have somebody bring that lumber down here to actually do it. Oh, also with our new people who have arrived, let's go ahead and turn back on our sawmill and our woodcutter. All right, there we go. Go to sea once more.
What?
All right, so wish ship, open loop house, summary. Where's your go button?
Ready.
Complete Barbos Bay. Oh, here we are. Amara is keeping Rambulian locked up here. Let's bust him out. I wonder why she wants him specifically. Is she just that jealous of my amazing tavern keeper?
Is this the slowest ship ever built? We might just swim to Barbos Bay instead.
All right, we're just gonna have to make that little journey. I'm in ×3 speed here, so just letting that go. Also, we have an event. Sailors, scoundrels, crown deserters, people of all walks of life drift to our shores. Some would welcome open arms, others harbor suspicion towards the new arrivals. What will we do? So we have 38 cohesion right now. We need to be a little bit careful with that. We could spend some food and take the able body. We could take everybody. We could just take their valuables. I think we will go ahead and take them. Fresh drifters. We have no need for the old and weak. Able hands will get a place on our island. The rest will send off with another ship. All right, I do need to just double check immediately. Yeah, we need some more housing. Hopefully we can feed all that many, and I don't need another building. How many was I short? So I need 5 more. Oh my goodness. New bigger house win. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's time to use some cliff space. I guess we will start in on this section. So 4, 5. Again, take that, OSHA. All right, we'll get those houses all built up before we have some sort of horrible rebellion. And just to double check, we are not making enough. What is going on here? I don't think we're having enough fetchers. You have 78 food. Are you not grabbing? Ah, there we are. Okay, that should solve that problem. I wasn't fetching from the other place, and you should be good. Yes. Okay, yeah. We're good. Didn't connect that afterwards. Are we doing inner or?
Followed us. No matter. Are you here for your tavern keep? Then you will have to take our fire.
Yeah, she did want my tavern keep. I like the little kind of like live 2D screen in the background. I think it adds a lot rather than just a static picture for the way that they're doing combat. All right, we're off the rails on this one a little bit, so we can kind of do what we want. So here's our things we need to do. So we need to defend for 3 turns. Basically, we just need to sail in under withering fire, and then we need to shoot stuff. Perfect. All right, so she's going to do 2 to 3 damage to our health. Why don't we do safe distance? And we'll prevent some damage, or we could gain some treasure. You know what? Give me the treasure. We can take some damage. Yeah, 3 damage. I can take that. She's gonna make us lose 1 to 2 supplies. I'll take some more treasure. She wants to do damage to my crew. Now that I don't want to have happen. So we will take cover so we lower the crew damage.
You see, Amara? Pirates don't give up so easily. Now let me go.
Okay, so now we need to reduce the enemy health to 0. So I do think she's going to do a little bit of damage to health. We could just do heavy fire. Yeah, we'll be okay. She's down to 7. She's going to do damage to health again. We'll just heavy fire again. And again. Last time I did this, she made some different choices, so it does seem to be a little bit of randomness there.
Yield. Cease your fire and take back your bloody tavern keep.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your little victory while you can. This is far from over. Mark my words.
I was right to put my trust in you lot. Thanks for pulling me out.
No problem, man. We broke our tavern keep out of prison. Our first real victory against the crown. Amara has promised swift revenge. Let her come.
Now let's make for home. Amara's flagship will be fixed up any moment now. No doubt she'll come for us then.
Skull Rock is calling.
All right, we'll head back home, and
Why did
while
the
we're doing
Spanish
that,
wench kidnap you anyway.
Perhaps she thinks this tavern keep is more dangerous than all you lot combined.
You? All you do is serve drinks and swap the counting.
I got us all here, didn't I?
maybe he's a legendary pirate. All right, we're waiting for our ship to return. Really like that music. Good OST. All right, our ship slides on in. Your ship has returned from journey. We hear shouting from offshore. Familiar faces from Amara's ship are clinging to the flotsam. I think that's flotsam, actually. And driftwood. Most survivors of our harrowing escape coming to join the crew. Fish them out.
Our island has all we need to build defenses. Let's get to it, and soon.
Okay, again, I need 5 more houses. They really need to give me a housing upgrade. All right, so 5 more houses. So we're gonna pile them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, that looks horrific. All right, produce some stone blocks. Build 1 gun tower. So we have a quarry and then a stone cutter. Makes sense to me. Do we have a location where you need to be? Yes, we do. Ah, okay. So this little deposit here. All right. Well, hey, I didn't know that, but that really kind of works out because this is our warehouse. So let's get some raw stone. And then we want to have that raw stone taken to a stone cutter. And then this stone cutter. I think we're going to have to use that. This is going to just literally be the same thing. Yeah, so we'll have to use that connection. Not the best, but it is what it is. You can't climb? Yeah, okay. Alright, I don't know the speed of these, so hopefully it's just a 1-to-1. I guess if we needed 2 production buildings, that wouldn't be the worst either. Okay, getting it built and getting it built. We still have plenty of planks stored up. Base production is 6. Base production is 5. Very interesting. All right, so you will max out, but that's fine. And they're going to be doing that. So let's go ahead and we'll override you for a second and let you get just ahead on the production of stone so that this can run. And then while that's doing that, attack the attack point. What are you telling me? All right, so you want it over here somewhere?
Everything's ready.
Okay, I see that, but where do you want the tower? Cannot be placed on water. Okay, I see. So it just needs to kind of be in like range of that. All right, seems to like that position. That's too far away, I would guess. All right, I don't see anything good there. So it looks like it needs to basically be over here. And does look like we might be able to get multiples in. Okay, not anywhere here. All right, I think we go... I want to kind of be on the same tier as that so we can just have a walkway to it. We'll do that one. And... where's your connection point? Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be that one right there, but that's okay. This works too. There we go.
We can build our first gun tower.
I will build my first gun tower. All right, you need 50 stone blocks. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, and then also you store stone. I don't want the raw stuff. I only want the finished goods. Okay, and it does look... I'm just watching this to see if we're making headway or what. Okay, I think we're actually fine here. I don't think we need that overdriven anymore. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. We need 50 stone to be able to make that. So I'm also just noticing we're losing 1 stew. That is awfully annoying. We're losing 1. I don't really want to build another stew place. I'm gonna let that ride. It looks like we're barely losing that one. I'm hoping we'll unlock another food or something. 15 stone so far. Looks like maybe a bird nest or something. I do find it, like, I like the animation of the birds, but I do find it a little weird that they don't move. I don't know if that's intended or not. All right, what up to 31. Yeah, I just need to be patient, basically, is what that's telling me. Going as fast as we can here, producing that stone. He came back and he just picked up 8 of them. Yeah, that's not too bad. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I stop the overdrive, if that'll lower the food cost. We have accepted a lot of people. All right, we need 1 more delivery and it's on its way. Let's try that. Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, like I said, it doubles your upkeep, but only gives you 50% more production.
You think this measly tower is enough to hold off Amara?
Let's give it a chance, shall we?
Protect attack point. Yep. Supply it fully. Ah, I see. We need the black powder. Okay, that makes sense. It's returned, yes. Also, have we repair, please? I wish there was a button where we could just click automate. When something comes back, just automatically go ahead and repair it. All right, is she on her way? Nothing I see at the moment, at least. All right, so what is this doing? Production versus drain. Okay, so we're using the black powder to produce ammunition. Sickness is spreading across the island, causing itchy skin rashes. What should we do? Many crewmates now display the telltale signs of scabies, itchy rashes, swollen skin, and flesh worms. The disease has spread to the point where they spend more time scratching themselves than working. We could dull the pain with a bunch of ale. And we have 50% minus production. We could find a cure. Doesn't look like that's going to help. We could send the afflicted away, or we could power through. We're running with a lot of extra hands right now. I think we're going to go ahead and send them away. It's easier to get rid of the sick than get rid of the scabby mites. We put them on a boat and send them away from the harbor as if they were lepers. I like that nobody cares. Like, literally no cohesion. Wow, guys.
Good work. Next time Amara strikes, we'll be ready.
Prepare yourselves, pirates! The crown's wrath will rain down upon you soon.
Okay, so are we gonna have the normal combat thing? Is that what's gonna go? We are in uncharted waters for me now. All right, so she rolls in.
Our haven is taking fire.
Crisis ends when the crown ship stops attacking or is destroyed by the gun tower. I mean, I guess I saw some. Okay, they are firing. I was gonna say, you better be firing. Mars ship. The island's protected and the attacking ship is successfully destroyed. Well done. Let's celebrate.
Rest in pieces, you blasted wench.
All right, good job, team.
There was no sign of Amara in the wreckage. I believe she escaped.
Damnation. Can't that woman stay dead for once?
I told you, it takes more than that to kill a captain.
We'll be ready next time. Let's expand, build defenses, show her what this crew can do.
New building pirate camp, guano gatherer, powder mill, char burner.
With every camp we build, more of our island's bounties come within our grasp.
You'll soon need resources that lie outside the range of your first pirate camp. Build more pirate camps lets you expand your haven and your range. Make sure you have the means to supply your expansion or you'll quickly face an outrage. All right, that was a whole bunch of new buildings. All right, this will provide housing for 25. Well, that would already help. Okay, what else did we get? Char burner. Okay, so upkeep is going to be stew. We take wood and stone, and we output charcoal. So base production is 8. I'm thinking we're going to need another one of those. This is already pretty much used up, I think. So we're going to need another stone location. So let's look at that. We have more stone way over there. I don't think that's the direction we would want to go, though. What about... where can we build more bays? Okay, back on this side. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we could put one here. Do we have stone over here? And actually, am I able to freeform build those new things? Or okay, yes I am. Oh, okay, that's actually really helpful. It kind of shows me what they can do. Okay, so one of the things we're gonna need is that guano. I think that's it right here. So there's stone. Okay, there's guano and stone over here. This seems like where we're heading next. And there's no bay though. I guess I can't have everything, right? Okay, so this is gonna get built somewhere up top. Oh my goodness. We're just literally spinning in circles, aren't we? Okay, make sure you have a means to expansion. Yes. All right, so I think I basically just want to grab everything we can wherever I plunk this down. I think that's basically it. That blue is interesting. I wonder what that means. This is also on fertile area, but I don't think I can help that in this case. So we'll plunk it there. Now, I don't know. Do we need to have that connected? I would assume so to get the supplies. No good if we head to there. All right, let's do this the opposite way. So from our tower, I'm being a little picky here, but I think this is going to pay off for being picky. So the guano gatherer goes there. All right, now go to there. Make a connection from there. Okay, we could make it... Okay, we could kind of make it to here, it seems. Okay, and then... Oh, I see. Then a ground path. All right. I guess that works. I kind of thought we were going to have to connect the other pathway, but... Okay, well, that's fine. That avoids ladders, at least. Other than this, I suppose. All right, what is your problem? No pirate camp connection. Okay, we are on it, assuming that wood's on the way. Is wood on the way? Probably not, because... Okay, we need to bypass this. Yeah. Okay, okay. You're making this awkward. What are we gonna do here? Can't make another connection from that. Go from here to here to there. Almost. Okay, I saw a green. There. Okay, let's see if that's good. I'm not seeing somebody immediately run over there. No connected resources. Okay. I mean, am I limited to how many of these I can build? I guess we could do it differently. All right, let's demolish that. In fact, let's get my demolish out. Nope, 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 nope. All right, let's try this again. Connection from here. What are you connecting to right there? Man, it's a real shame we just can't make that spot. We can make it 2 there. God, it's so close. If I had built that closer, they did say, hang on. They did say expand that. What if we did build one a little bit closer? And we use that. And we use that to get over there. In fact, we'll even make it taller. Yeah. Okay, we'll be a little cheeky here. Alright, we'll use this to connect over there. Yeah, and here comes the stone, and we actually have enough kind of saved up so we can build this really quickly. Yep. Alright. Nice try, game. Nice try, but not today. Not today. Beautiful. Alright, that should do it. He says hopefully. No input resources, that's fine. No construct. Okay, hang on a second. Do I need to... Okay, I mean, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you guys a pause. I'm going to figure out what's going on with this, and then we'll bring it back. Okay, well, that actually turned out to be rather easy. It didn't like the land path for some reason, so I'm not entirely sure what the entire point of being able to even build one was, but it seems to like this bridge that I built. So I hope you got your cardio in, Mr. Transport guy, because we're doing it. All right, then that can be built up there. Beautiful. Okay, and I will tell you what. I think that we're at about an hour, and it seems like we have at least a little bit more to go. So I think we're going to go ahead and we'll call that the end of the first part, and then I will do a second part here where we're going to continue on. Yeah, nice and meaty. I appreciate a preview that actually lets me dig my teeth into the mechanics a little bit here. So next time around, we will continue to expand out our other goods production. Also, I hope that we have some more encounters. I'd like to try out the combat a little bit more. I assume that more will be coming. Thank you again to Hooded Horse for the preview. And just as another reminder, the demo for this is going live on Steam on May 28th. I'll have a link to that Steam page down in the description if you want to check it out yourself. Beyond that, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to leave a like on it. If you're not subscribed, I hope I've earned your subscription. If you want to continue to support the channel, you can always join me live for a super chat or leave a super thanks on a video or VOD. Check out the channel membership or the Patreon linked in the channel info. All right, builders, get out there and commit some piracy. Please don't. And I'll see you in the next one. Bevel out.